as you can see here, I've just really quickly made a tier list based off how all the coaches did this season compared to, expectations and a whole other range of factors. And I'm going to talk through them all. Kingsley, with that list, the list isn't that good. It's still alright, but the fact they made a prelim, his coaching was great. His game style was made for finals, has to be elite. McRae has to be elite. Thought he would have been found out a bit more this year, but he wasn't. Nixie, with some young players, he did really well. He just has to be an elite, given that he brought that side to nearly top 8. Ross Lyon, the injuries he had in the forward line, he did amazingly well to make the 8. So now we're on to the exceeded expectations. Can't argue with those coaches. Chris Fagan improved, made a grand final, but he expected to make top 4, but I think he exceeded expectations making the grand final. Ken Hinkley exceeded expectations based off the general public. I thought he coached well. The game style was refined and looking like a promising year next year. Brad Scott, Essendon's list is awful. The fact he nearly got in the 8, he has to be in exceed expectations, as does Mitchell. A lot of people had them dead last. They had 7 wins, so he did great. Michael Voss, I think exceeded expectations purely because he brought Carlton back from one of the worst form slumps I've ever seen. Like that sort of mid part of the season, they were that bad. People had them finishing bottom 4. The fact he brought them back, I think that's a sign of a good coach. A galvanising coach. On to the L's. Clarko, not sure about this one because he did spend most of the year out with the mental health, so I just sort of put him in there, but we're just going to ignore that because it's a bit of a touchy subject. Bevo, could have put him in horror. Put him in L because with that list, you should be making top 8. Best player in the comp, Bont. You've got amazing forwards in Jamara, Norton, up-and-coming forwards. One of the best ruck, Tim English, that last season, not including Gorn. You kick out Trelaw, Libba, Bailey Smith, McRae. How are you not making the top 8? That's an L. Shuju, I really like him as coach, but he got sacked. That's an L. Could be horror, put him in L. Chris Scott, just an L, not horror, I think, because losing Selwood and then just the age. It was bound to happen at some point, but they finally hit a wall. Longmire, I think I actually could have put him in exceed expectations because of all the injuries to their defensive line. Rampy and McCartan were out for a long period of time. Relying on Aaron Francis in the back line, never going to go well. But nonetheless, barely scraped in the 8 after making the grand final last season. That's probably an L. Goodwin, straight sets again. I thought he coached badly. The Clayton Oliver thing he dealt with badly, despite him just technically playing a part in that. I thought his tactical decisions throughout the year were pretty poor. Very, very poor. Disappointed in this guy. Disappointed. Horror, Adam Simpson, obviously it was a horror season. Dimmer, left Richmond, horror season. And now he just joined Gold Coast. What a fucking fall off. Longmuir, tactically just fraudulent. Can't galvanise a team. And he'll be going next year, guaranteed. If not, by the time it's uploaded. Do you agree?